Okay, so welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super card game video. This one's gonna be a little quick, but not really. I don't know. It's gonna be a normal length. This is kind of preface. You'll see it at the end of the video, or the video. I won't know until I do it. Anyway, so long story short, there was a national championship in Latin America, in Chile, and that kind of begs the question of what the hell happened in Chile. I wanted to go through the top 32 because there was something that was released on here, and if you didn't know, before we go into that, this actually happened on March 30th, and this is actually the Latin America section of the Dragon Ball Super card game website. And if you go over here into the events, they have pretty much all the events that we're having in the US. If you are watching from the US, if you're not, then hey, thanks for watching. And if you go over here, obviously the event's over. This is on, like I said, on the 30th. This is the 2018 championship. It was just a little bit delayed, if you haven't seen that already. It was just that the all the set 6 stuff, all the meta decks that we're talking about, or we have seen in the celebrations, they have actually been playing, such as Kid Goku, Super Shenron, all these other ones. But there's kind of a few things to preface for that, and I'll kind of talk about that when we're looking at the top 32 as well. But they have all of the prizing, just like the regular championship. It's just that I think the event pack 3 is added in there, tournament pack 5, the big leaders. These things, these mats, which I love this mat, probably my most favorite mat out of the entire mat universe, and then all the other ones like the head judges, judge promos, and then I think these have the newer promos, which is the volume 5, but I don't think these have the Kobolus or the Sensubin. Someone put in the comments like, hey, you know, that this is where the Sensubin Kobolus judge promos are. But if you go to the Reddit for the last week, this kind of slipped around, or slipped by everybody, and had a little showing as any kind of popular thing would go. But this is where I kind of saw it, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know there's a Latin America championship. And of course, if you go to the actual thing, you can see a breakdown or a pie chart, just like how, you know, Crossworld or anybody else like Eggman would kind of do, and kind of see the breakdown of all the leaders, which is very interesting. I think the actual leaders, we'll see in the next page that I'll put through, kind of vary, but as a percentage wise, this is very interesting to see, because there's small percentages of a number of road decks here. Obviously green Broly, yellow Broly, Shenron for some reason, Super Shenron not surprisingly, Vanilla Goku not surprisingly, and Geneva almost not surprisingly. And I think the thing about this, and again, this is where I'm prefacing it, is that, you know, the game may or may not be as popular in Chile or Latin America as it could be in America, North America, South America, Europe even. But it could be a completely different meta. It could be a completely different mindset of how decks are built and the approach of a meta, right? And the other thing is that the playability in which, you know, does the Latin America players have enough for locals to play every week to test out their decks? Do they play online like I do or other people do? Do they do this or that, right? And the thing about that is that, you know, that's something that you have to consider when looking at this pie chart. The other thing is that there are 9 rounds in this championship without top cut, and that's my understanding. If I am wrong on that, correct me, but that's my understanding, in which, you know, that's the thing. I think there are 9 rounds, no top cut, and we'll see all the points of each and every deck that went through that in Swiss. But looking at this is a big chunk for Broly starter deck Broly, and the next big chunk is Vanilla Goku, which makes sense, and then Geneva, which also makes sense. These two decks are kind of the safe bets, especially in Swiss. Even in best of 3, Geneva can do some damage, especially if it's 9 rounds. So you're going to be seeing a lot of decks, and you're either going to go as for a solid deck, which is Vanilla Goku, a repressive deck like Super Shenron or Broly, the starter deck Broly, or something that is an all-arounder that affects all decks, which is Geneva. And then we also have control/aggressive decks that can be the yellow Broly, and as well as the Shenron, which the one that went undefeated is the Gogeta Shenron, I do believe, and we'll look at that in a second. I'm trying not to spoil all of that, but yeah. And then we have Super Shenron, which we already know, the last celebration event. Marcus took that with David in the mirror match, and you already know how well that deck is. And if we kind of consider that Shenron Gogeta kind of took that, it's really, there's a lot of variance, right? But the thing is that he went undefeated, so I don't know. That's kind of hard. It's someone make me aware, because yeah, okay. And then we have Pan, and then we have a Android's deck, which is kind of surprising. I think the deck list is on there. We'll take a look at it. And then we have Legacy Barrier Goku, which I think is a Hana Mastery variant with Victory Strike. And then a Mass Saiyan, which is awesome because that Mass Saiyan has not really has not really have gotten a chance to shine and or played by good players. And I don't know if I'm going to have that video out by now, most likely late in the week, but I go over why some leaders and as well as some decks just don't win an event or don't top as much as it should. And one of those reasons is because people gravitate towards good decks. And here's the thing, that's kind of a no-brainer, right? But at the same time, when you don't play the best deck and you gravitate towards something that is a little bit more focused in what it wants to do, and doesn't cover as many bases, you sometimes tip the scale when you try to go against another deck and it hasn't had that matchup, and it creates variance there and sometimes loses to that matchup because it doesn't know what to do with it, right? So that's why, you know, Geneva is good. That's why Vanilla Goku is good, and just doing what it needs to do, and also having a fair matchup with most decks. And that's another reason why Super Shenron is not that great, because it's so oppressive, etc., etc. I'll go more of that in a different video, but that's kind of my understanding when taking a look at this. When a good player, and listen, any player who plays the deck well plays this against a lot of different meta decks, this will happen, and Pan will happen. I don't know where the freezes come from. Frieza Universe 7, that's right. I was like, am I missing something? It's Universe 7 Frieza. Okay, there you go. The Legacy Barrier Goku, the androids will happen, Mass Saiyan will happen, right? So those are all the things to kind of consider. And before I look at the list itself, I want to point out that if you look up Latin America, Chile, okay, I'm just gonna say Chile, like, why not just say that? There's not that many when considering, like, so if we take a look at the last week, these are all the ones that are actually up, and all of them are in Spanish. So I don't know. I know a little bit of Spanish just growing up on the west side, but I don't know what these are. But you can still take a look at the decks, and this rogue deck here, the Vegito deck. Hey, I'm sure it's pretty cool. I will take a peek at that later on. But yeah, Super Shenron top 32 for both of these things, and then I'm guessing this is something else. For my Spanish speakers, translate that for me. I don't feel like Googling it. All right, finally, let's take a look at the list of the top 32 in Swiss, and as well as some of these deck lists. So I'm very curious to see some of these. We'll probably take a peek at every single one of them, but I definitely want to take a look at, like, the Legacy Barriers Goku and a couple other ones here. But as you can see, I do believe it's still 3 points. So this is puntos, which come on now. The 3 points, so 9 rounds, 3 points, makes sense, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm doing my math there. 22 points, so this guy went undefeated. This guy probably dropped 1 or 2 games, probably 1.5 game. One of them went into time, and then so on and so forth, right? So when you have 9 rounds, and that's probably what Celebration should have done, 1 day without teams, but also singles, and then the next day top cut. I think that's probably what it should have done, and then the rest of the day, or the rest of the day, have a teams side event for those people who didn't do top cut. I think that's how Celebration should have been. That's just my opinion. Anyway, as you can see, we don't have the deck list here. Shout out to whoever posted this. Please, if you know the person who did this, please comment in the description. I forget where I saw this. I'm pretty sure someone posted this on the Facebook, but yeah, that's one thing. Please comment in there, and we'll go ahead and give you a shout out. But Some of these things I don't understand, like the CL and AR. I'm guessing these are the areas, maybe? I'm not sure. But yeah, we had the Shenron Victory Strike with Swap. We had also, where else is some Shenron here? We had no other Shenron? Oh, Shenron Buhan right there. That's good. We'll probably take a look at that one. And then I think there's one more Shenron Gogeta. Right there. I'm probably missing one of them, but yeah. So Shenron had a pretty good showing here, which is pretty interesting. I'm guessing that going against the so much Broly coming around, like I'm really surprised that Shenron did so well. But hey, I could be wrong. He could have matched against Vanilla Goku the whole time and did pretty well to defend himself and just do his Shenron things. I think that's a pretty good matchup. Just not too many people are playing it. Again, coming back to that good players are playing good decks thing, right? And then we have Geneva, Vanilla Goku, quite a lot. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Vanilla Gokus, which is pretty representative as the other events go, and then 1 Pan Zeno. There is the Mass Saiyan up here with only a few games dropped, 1 or 2 games, right? So that'd be 2 games dropped. So my man went X2 with that deck. Sounds pretty good. And then just a number of other decks that kind of went through. I think it's pretty cool because some of these have the colors on there too. So let's look at the Vanilla Goku. This is blue-black, which is, and when considering 9 rounds, I think blue-black is probably a good bet. Same thing for this guy, same thing for this guy, same thing for this guy, and then blue-red over here. So that's gonna be pretty cool to look at. And then I don't think there's anything crazy here. The Arcane Boo, so probably the secret rare Super Shenron, so that's pretty cool. And then we have Swap, Bulma Storm type of thing. Probably don't even need a list of that. We have a lot of cool stuff here, a lot of variants here, a lot of Broly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh wait, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the starter deck Broly, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 of the yellow Broly. So that's pretty cool. That's nice. Also, probably one of the biggest things to consider is that this had 240 people or more. So over 200 people in attendance. That's plenty of decks to take a look at, plenty of competition. I have no idea who these people are, but honestly, for people who put down like other countries and things like that, we don't know if there is a Marcel Russell out there or a Danny Hype out there in a different country, right? These are things that we don't consider because this is just not within our worldview. I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to put this out there, because it's just there's not enough coverage, there's not enough talk about it, just like the European situation. So, meh, Saltbox. Let's look at decks. All right, so this is pretty standard, green, yellow Broly. Nothing to see here, right? I don't think there's really much to see here. And then here's the Latin America, oh, I was like, what am I looking at? The Legacy Barrier 5th place, the guy who was 5th place and had the Victory Strike from the High to Mastery. Pretty cool. This is just a normal Victory Strike High to Mastery list. If you switch it to Green Broly, people would not look at you differently other than the instant transmission, maybe another Flying Nimbus or Time Magic or one more Universe's representative. The Godly Discretion Waste for the Super Shenron makes sense. And then the 2 Shigesh to cheat out your Path to Greatness or Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. So pretty cool. And then is he playing? I don't think he's playing. Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, wait a second. Yeah, he's playing Successor and Plucky Dynasty. So that makes sense to get a free super combo. And then the sideboard looks pretty standard with the 10x Kamehameha in the main and side. So that's pretty dope. And now there's the Mass Saiyan list, the black and red Mass Saiyan. Shout out to all my people who play Mass Saiyan in the Discord, because I know there's many. And this is very streamlined. Like, this is just like, I wanna go ahead and overwhelm every single turn. I wanna go ahead and double strike critical every single turn, or at least double strike every single turn. It's very straightforward with the Yamchas in Dimension Support, the digging deep to get around Crisis Crusher, which is something that is main nowadays because of Kid Goku, and then playing him too because of Kid Goku, and then foreseeing hit probably to end the game. and take game from there. So I don't imagine this deck got to 4 energy very often, not only because he mills himself out versus Geneva, not only because he's attacking so much every single turn, but also just because it's just, I don't know if you could be tapping out for 4 energy with Foreseeing Hand. I'm very interested in hearing if he did or not. And of course, if you or anybody else have played any of these decks, let me know. The 3-dimensional Fu, most likely for the Broly, so makes sense. Here's 9th place, green, yellow, Broly. Not much to see here. All the good stuff for green and yellow, including Freezicle and Cold Ball SF4, with Crusher Ball and Flying Nimbus for the mirror and Super Shenron. This one for the mirror as well. And we got the blue, black. Again, some of these are just kind of going through it because it's just same old, really. Interesting ratios for these. Only 2 trading Buddy Krillin with no dimension support trunks. I'm wrong. There's dimension support trunks, so that makes sense. And then this for baby matchup. Didn't see any baby, by the way. No baby in the whole list. So the only red leader, I think. Let's go ahead and make sure I'm not wrong. Oh my. That's like whatchamacallit? Lady Gaga, right? I don't. Someone tell me. Pan. Yeah, Pan is really the only red leader in this, and then speaks to the meta, right? Anyway, moving on to the blue-black. 4 Dr. Power's Mass Saiyan instead of Pan makes a lot of sense because you play a lot of black anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. And it affects the Super Shenron matchup along with the Burgos in the side with the Senzu Bean. So it's a pretty good meta pick. And we have Shenron Boo. So we have the new Boo. Ooh, this is nice. With 2 of the 3-drop. But I don't know what you're doing. But I would imagine that this is a blue Gohan that helps his blue count. Which that is probably my guess in which why he did that. 1/1 ball makes sense to get out the surprise attack Majin Buu. And then minus Killing Zone, so that way you don't get cooked. And then 3 of these for the barrier, so that way you don't die if it gets Shigeshi Goku or something of the similar sort in the game 1. And then 2 Whis Coercion. I think he is not playing any Bean, which is crazy. But this is playing to end it probably turn 2 or 3, regardless of what deck they're going against. So I don't think it's going to be too much of a big issue. Kronoa in the main, so that way, again, you don't get Shigeshi Goku. And what I'm thinking too is that this is kind of an afterthought, and then this is the main target for the absorption, because it does go into that, and then you can go into him. So 2 triple strikers with additional attack because of his once per turn auto. That's pretty good, right? I think that's pretty good. Let's go on to Geneva. Cool. So a lot of Geneva stuff, right? What am I supposed to say? It's a Geneva deck, guys. There you go. Hey, look at that. That's a deck with no sideboard. All right, 2 Champa in the main. I love it. Hopefully this guy did have an actual sideboard. If not, kudos to him, because people have topped without a sideboard. I remember talking to some people in Vegas, like ARG Vegas, and they did it. And I'm like, I should be doing better. Gogeta Shenron. Cool picks. The 1 4-drop Goku we've never really seen in any top deck, and that's most likely just another 20k target with the new 3-drop Goku that is a 20k. Probably going to be a superior target because it is actually playable and more useful. But do you boo boo is what I'm thinking. For objection, just standard Gogeta Shenron. Shout out to Chuck, even though he's really bad. 3 Senzu Bean. What's going on with that? I don't know. Who knows? 2 Child's Wish in the side. Don't really have any Child's Wish target other than Haru, I guess. Yeah? Am I looking? It's been a long day, guys. Nope, I'm right. Okay. Vanilla. This is the blue version with a Scientist Fu in the main. I actually had Scientist Fu in my main when I was building my blue too, but I also ran Gogeta, so I didn't want to do that. He has Gogeta in the side at 1 instead of 2. Probably couldn't decide if he wanted 1 or 2 of them in the main or side, but I mean, you have so many goddamn Super Saiyan boys here, you know. So that's all I can kind of say about that. And then Awakening 10 or Awakening Talent Pan at 3 instead of the Dark Power Sand. I personally would have went with the Dark Power Sand if I'm playing blue. And then that's pretty much it. 2 Aiders, 4 Power Bursts, 6 Balls. Shout out to Josh. Sure. And then there's a Pan deck. Shout out to Devin. Cool. It's a Pan deck, guys. Yeah. And then lastly, the blue-red variant for Kid Goku. I don't know why he played 4 Zonabron. Cool, I guess. I mean, I would play Chi-Chi and Goku instead, like Testify Power Trunks, Chi-Chi Goku. You know what I'm saying? And he had a yellow side. This is weird, dude. But hey, I talked about how versatile he is before, right? And this kind of shows it. Okay then. Anyway, that is it. Let me know what you think about this top 32. It's all over the place, honestly, but I don't know what kind of competition there is in there. I don't know what what kind of meta there is, if it's different, but it seems like it is the same meta as the America celebrations. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't mean for this to go that long, but I say that almost every single time. So please subscribe if you're new. Like, dislike, comment below. I will see you in the next one. Later.